All right, Barbara, you're up. We'll be right back. Sit here, make it easy. Barbara. Jump.
Come on in, Joe.
All right, where would you like me?
Grab a chair and sit.
All right,
And
very good.
have to get you a chair.
All
One
right.
of those chairs over
One of
there.
those up there.
How about Joe? Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we're being recorded. So everyone will know what we say and do. I'll start the meeting as soon as, and Jen will be back shortly. Call to order, it is what, 7:03?
Okay.
6.
7:06.
Roll call. Lois,
Here.
okay,
Here.
Frank,
Here.
Ann, here. Tina is not here tonight, right? Jen is here. Okay. Is there approval of the minutes from June 21st or any changes?
Approve.
Okay, second for the approval?
Second.
Okay. Now tonight, as our speaker, we have Joe Dodorsky. Oh, there you go.
Where would you like me?
Just come up here so everybody can see you and know you.
All right, very good.
Joe is on the Housing Authority. He is, what's your official title? Director?
Chairman.
Chairman of the Housing Authority. And he's gonna speak to us tonight. Would you be better off to get a chair and have a seat? Would you be more comfortable?
It's totally fine. I'll just-
Okay, it's up to you.
here.
Up to you.
We'll get to it if I have any questions. So, I was asked to attend tonight to kind of give you a briefing on the progress and the on this project. So, I have good news to report. I know Barbara would like to hear this, but we did secure $6.5 million line of credit on the property. So, moving forward, that gets us closer to the $33 million price tag. We are filing a 4.4% tax credit application in the state of Connecticut on the 10th of October. That's the process right now. That's going to get us up to the, a large portion of that. Just hit the numbers here, so I'm not saying something off. So 4% tax credit is going to be $7.6 million. Said and done. And then the National Equity Fund, we've secured a verbal commitment from them, but not a formal writing commitment. It's going to be 19.4. There's going to be some additional energy rebates that will be about 100,000, and total of that is $33.6 million for that project. So it's in process. Most of the loans and funding grants and other things we're looking at are going to be closed probably in the first half of 2022. Once we're closed on that, we'll go out to the general contractor and then move forward construction. So 2023,
So it'll start in 2023.
what's that?
The building will start in 2023.
It should start at the fall of 2022. 5 months. I don't foresee, some of the stuff we can start doing earlier on in 2022, like going out for bid for contracts and stuff like that. That doesn't. The time frame wouldn't encumber us in any costs. So once we have 100% of financing in place, we can execute the contracts and go from there. So the 30 days to advertise the selection process, all that bidding process can be handled while we're in the process of closing the financing. So, the other thing we're looking at is using geothermal in that space. So we will be providing heat and hot water with the rents, so it's going to be included in the rent package. And we're also looking at doing cogeneration, so that's still kind of in the investigatory mode. But basically, there's a process that works with geothermal using pressure involved in geothermal physics and turbine, and that turbine will create electricity. So if we're successful in getting that plant built, we're also looking at some solar panels on the building itself, and they're not your usual solar panels. You won't see them. The industries come out with new sightings that look like actual house siding, but they're actually solar panels. So the building will be flat and solar panel. On the roof itself, you have strips of solar panels that are flat. So it would be visible from the street. And like I said, the exterior of the building would look the same as the other building with actual solar panels generating electricity. So if we're able to pull all that off, then we'll go for some rent as well. So we'll get additional cost for base rent, base rent, and that's it. We're looking at doing a net meter type arrangement with Northeast Utilities for any excess electricity to be sold off to the rates. At that point, that would subsidize the operations of that. So it's been a long slog, but we're there. So, like I said, I was very happy to hear about the $6.5 million today. And, you know, like I said, the other money is in the pipeline. The 4% tax credit is as of right. We've already lined up with investors for that tax credit. Northeast Utilities is interested. So just a matter of getting all the paperwork together. You know, they're signed. So it's not an easy process, but you know, it's a process. So we're a lot further along now than we were sometime. Any questions?
We're gonna build up, it's gonna be like how many stories?
It's gonna be a 3-story building. I brought some plans, and I apologize about the quality, but I'll pass this out. So if we have exterior windows. There's gonna be 2 buildings on the property. So I'll pass this out. Got it. Both buildings are similar. And the exterior of the shed. So
How many apartments?
it's gonna be a total of 50. Yeah, there's gonna be a total of 50. So some are gonna be 2-bedroom. I don't have the breakdown with me right now, but some are gonna be 2-bedroom units and the balance are gonna be single bedrooms. So they're not gonna be any efficiency.
So it'll be like an actual bed.
Correct. They're gonna be about 850 square feet. Give or take. Some are gonna be larger, some are gonna be smaller. You know, location, things like that. Both buildings will be serviced by an elevator. Both buildings can have a community room. There's also the outside area for hanging out. So that will create irreversible lights, marketing buildings.
No balconies?
Hmm?
No balconies?
This comes down to money. At some point, something has to go. But you know, it's gonna be nice. So
And it was to be based on a certain amount of your income.
so we're doing the state of Connecticut is pushing a diversified income strategy, similar to what we're doing here. at First Heights. So that's the best way to describe it. There's gonna be a certain portion of properties that can be rented, similar to margin more, essentially private vouchers. So we're trying to get some of those. So a portion of those apartments will be rented at essentially private voucher level. Some of them are going to be moderate income, some of them are market rate. We're still kind of finalizing.
So the roof is-
Yeah. So, but it's going to be a diversified income base. So basically, similar to what you have here. You have what the base rate.
Yeah, what we should have is Julia get copies to put in the minutes. So if you can get them and run and make copies right now, ask them to make sure they pass them all the way around.
So they're gonna be, used to what you have. approved. So, right now, we're targeting, way the selection process works for tenants, if you're on a waiting list for one of our properties.
Hugh's not.
You get first dibs for the rentals.
Here.
They open up the next performance. After that, none of our waiting list people want to move there. And we'll open it up to the general public. It's gonna be parking, so it's gonna be a walking trail. Yeah, there's gonna be plenty of parking.
Where's the pool then?
There's no pool.
That's
But it's gonna be within walking distance of personal pool.
Oh, there you
So can walk there and we'll be good to go. We are gonna do a walking trail that's gonna connect from our complex, soccer field, to the library. There's a bridge already constructed at the we're building the process of work there, so, technically go there now. Those properties. We did file an application with the community development block for about $1 million infrastructure. That's pending. That's gonna be used to demolish on this property. Site ready for construction. And then, run utilities on it, so.
So that us folks here, we wouldn't get first dibs, if who was ever on the waiting list
Whoever's on the waiting list,
to come into the park.
correct, so not on the waiting list, you might get on the waiting list, by all means, go ahead, you're not on the waiting list. You don't have to take the permit, if your turn comes up. say
And
not
is
ready.
it still gonna be pet friendly?
Huh?
Pet friendly?
As far as I know, yes, we haven't made those operational decisions yet, but it's gonna be, I don't anticipate anything different than what we're doing right now, so.
When are they gonna start the waiting list?
The waiting list is, we're first gonna go to the people that are on our current waiting list. So once that, those people have digged, we don't fill the building, at that point, we start an application process for the new building. And once those are filled, then we'll start a waiting list for the new building as well, so. That's basically the game plan. So if you're not on the waiting list for Marjorie Moore Bristol Heights, I suggest getting on there if you're interested. So like I said, there's no obligation. If you're on the waiting list, you turn them around, not ready to move, you just know we're not ready. We'll back to the list. But like I said, everybody on that list is going to be correct. Yes.
Will there be, like here, we have a kitchen facility, and we were able to have events. Will there be something like that?
So basically, it's gonna be similar to the setup at the senior center here, where you have a meeting room with a kitchenette. You're gonna have the same setup down there, so you're gonna have meeting rooms, the office space.
I gotta give them that.
It's not gonna be similar to this space here, but it's gonna be, most of the party there.
You'll be able to have a caterer come in like you do now. and
Yeah.
then here.
Yeah, if you've been to the Marjorie Moore meeting room there. Thank you very much, appreciate it. For the community room here, Bristol Heights, it's gonna be a safe.
They're usually the same.
So it's basically for the people in the building to get together, play cards, socialize. And then,
Must have had two copies, you said.
stuff like that. So allows residents to utilize the space.
That would be enough to, I know it won't be as big as this, but it would be big enough if we want to have like here, we have a screen, so.
Yes. Yeah, it's gonna be sized, it's gonna be sized appropriately for the population.
The parking will be right around the building.
Yes. Parking is gonna be. We have a site plan as well, so I apologize about the size, everything's on computers now, so it's a little bit smaller. But the first building is gonna be where the nice oldest building currently is. And this is the entrance from Bristol Avenue, you know, parking up against that building here. And the parking to run to the center, and it's also over here. There's the lights. Second building is gonna be between the baseball field. You know, up against the wood line, drive there right now, as you drive in, I'm looking at where the second building would be. I apologize about the AV, but, like I said, everything we're doing is on computers now, so it's a little different.
How
Yes,
many handicap apartments would they have?
they're all gonna be handicapped.
Huh?
They're all handicapped.
They're all
Yes,
handicapped?
they're all gonna be designed to be handicap accessible. So our goal is, you know, to allow people to transition there for the longest period of time possible. So, yeah, so we're designing it, you know, as people get older and become less mobile, so we'll be able to utilize the space. We're not gonna have to budget and stuff. So the bathrooms, the kitchen is all gonna be designed with ADA compliance. Okay, you have elevators. So it's gonna be, you know, everything, getting into the building, getting up the stairs, you know, it's on apartments, doors are all gonna be wider. So it's gonna be designed in such a way to facilitate aging in place.
And if I want to get my name on the list for what I do that.
I don't think I'm gonna
You
live
would
there.
contact the,
Huh?
the
Not gonna
office
live
of the,
there.
housing authority. Wait, 4,500. And just let them know you're interested in filing an application. And they'll give you the, they'll either mail you or you can give you the application. It's a bunch of stuff you need to fill out.
And first one I put out to get in here.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
yeah,
So you know the drill.
I know the drill.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, it's a slog, so.
Yeah.
The state of Connecticut has changed its idea of housing, so in addition to diversified income, they also want diversified age groups. in these
Yeah, right, I
houses.
know.
It's, you know,
Oh,
take some fancy tap dancing. Yes,
What's diversified age group mean?
basically, the state of Connecticut, under Governor Malloy, transitioned from having senior housing and family housing to having everything all included. So they never said they wouldn't fund it, but they make it, basically everything you apply with the state of Connecticut is based on a point system. So they assign points, and the way they set up the point system made it virtually impossible to fund it. For senior housing. So they never said they would fund it, but they just made the points in the formula for the points in such a way. What's that?
Can't be easy with the state.
Yes.
Nothing's easy.
Exactly. So that's, you know.
Now,
that's
does it
basically-
matter that when we started this project many years ago, that we wanted strictly senior housing, and now they've changed the rules to family housing? How is that gonna work for us?
So what we're gonna do is we are gonna create affordable housing targeting the senior population. Along with sales, similar to what we do now with larger person heights. So we're kind of continuing that round, we're just changing the lingo a little bit.
Affordable housing is in there.
So you have the category of housing, which is affordable housing, right? Then you have the target population, which we're gonna target senior population.
Because with the seniors, I mean, you're right. Every year you get very little money. What happens when you get your cap? What do you do? They throw you out of your place? Ah, correct. He says correct. Correct.
You're out.
Correct.
Yeah, no, we're not.
I'm
We have-
just curious.
No, we're not gonna have a cap per se. You know, it's similar to what we got right now. We're really not gonna do much of a difference other than, no, well, even the advertising, the way we advertise now, target. The population.
That rent creeps up a little every year. Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, it does, but unfortunately, that's again, part of our process. We look at our rental costs, you know, through operating departments, so it's, you know, it gets passed on. You know, we do afford opportunities, that's why I want to pursue some of these section of project projects with new place. So the way a section of project project works is similar to where The voucher applies to the property, not to the tenant. So basically, anybody that comes in there qualifies for that section 8
Right,
income level.
it stays basically the same there.
Yes, yes. So basically, the housing authority and HUD negotiate, there's a market rate, and then there's the base rent margin more.
Right.
So if somebody can afford 0, they pay 0, and HUD will pay the difference in the market. and the rent. So if someone can afford $100 a month, they pay the 100, and then, the balance of it. Believe it or not, the market rate for those rents is about $100 a month. So the federal government is check.
That's why I was told if we couldn't afford it, you can always put a margin more.
Yes. And again, we've moved some people from Bristol Heights down. there
Right,
because,
yeah.
Just the rents here became uncomfortable.
Right.
There's no reason, the properties are similar, so there's no reason to be suffering
Exactly.
here.
Suffering.
You can live better down there, so.
You answered my question, I wasn't sure how that worked.
Yep, no, we kind of monitor where people are at. That's why we go through that annual certification process
Uh-huh.
to see where everybody's at. And we, if the situation arises where they can be better off in our agreement more. we can do that.
Good to know.
Provided, the waiting list. So again, it's-
There's.
there's rules with the waiting list too. So vacancy opens up there and nobody wants a margin more waiting list. Next bids are up here.
Right.
And and then we open it up. to the public.
Got
So there are rules in place for all that.
We have
Yes.
so many, I've asked Joe these questions many times, and he answered them very gracious. But I'm asking some of them tonight so that you all can hear the answers. And that's why I asked about family housing as opposed to senior. Because so many of you people like to go out, take a little walk, and some of you have walkers, some of you have canes. And we just want it to be a safe area, because when you're in an area with a lot of kids and skateboards and bikes, it's not safe to see.
And again, most families aren't going to be interested in these properties because they're all going to be ADA, all handicapped accessible. So it's not like, if you have kids, you're not interested in the handicapped type facilities, and, large bathrooms, things like that. So plus, the majority of them are going to be one bedroom, so it's difficult to families for one bedroom. Yes,
I got a question. What do they consider a family?
that is a good question.
Yeah.
It's the real definition is affordable housing. So if someone wants to, as long as the bedrooms fit their situation, then they can rent that space.
Does it have to be predetermined or can it change as life goes on?
So basically the lease control, so if you make an application, let's say as a family, then everybody on that list is part of the lease. So if people get divorced or stuff changes, then we would make a necessary recommendation for adjustments down the road. We don't have that situation in Berlin, because we don't have family type housing. The developments we've worked on with the developers on Emmett Road, that's a workforce housing project. I don't know if you've seen it by this white apartment complex with black shutters. South of that. That is workforce housing, so that's a family housing type situation. But you have to have a job, you make a certain amount of money to work qualified for those properties. Again, when we get referrals on that, or calls on that, we refer to the developer.
So what do you consider a job?
You have to have a W-2, and you have to be making more than like $12,000. That's the job in the area, but you can't be making more. I can't remember what the top rate is, but it's 65,000, 70,000. What's that?
I think it's
72, yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, there's a range, so, it's basically designed for people that have service-related jobs that might not be making, necessary funds and we worked on that with Sager, developed the property. built it, for that in their application. So. Any other questions?
We have a question.
Are they considering doing a generator for Physical Heights?
So,
Yeah.
we are in the process, we secured bids for a generator, and we approached the town. I'll give you round numbers, because I'm not in charge of that project, my vice chairwoman's in charge of that project, but, it's about 130,000 to generate the whole building. Right, so we proposed to the town, in half, or in half, and we'll get the whole building generalized. So then the town will use this space as an emergency shelter, you know, in the event they need it. And our tenants needs sheltered in place. Yes,
Great.
so we've done the legwork on it, we got the cost, just a matter of, seeing if the town wants to jump in. At this point, we have the money to go ahead and pull the trigger on it, so I might just, if the town says no, we'll probably, I choose, you know, I prefer not to spend all that money, but, you know. if the
You'll
town-
push it through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're gonna get it generalized. Yeah. And like I
Before
said,
winter, before this winter.
if the town puts us a check, yes.
Oh, okay.
It's probably gonna be about 30 days from the time we order it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, the company, we went out to bid, so the company that's doing the bid is gonna do everything from construction to wiring. So it's gonna be a one-stop shop. And they sized everything out, so about 130,000. That's a round number, but it's in that ballpark. So hopefully, by the end of the year, that's the decision. But it's an election, year, so you never know. Could be a little bit longer.
Yes, well,
They don't want to spend any money. with elections. And we've also approached the state about taking some cash. Like I said, we have the reserves in place. Go ahead and cut the check tomorrow. I just want to, I don't necessarily want to spend all my reserves on a generator. You know, in the event that something else goes bad with the furnace or something like that. So I want to maintain a certain amount of money. Any other questions?
we'll get that down. Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
I dried out my vocal cords. All right. Other questions? All right, thank you very much for having me over.
Thank you for coming, because I'm so happy when you said you would come, because we say can hear it from you, and not from me.
Correct.
We've had these little conversations for how many years, you know?
It's been a few years.
Yes, and before every meeting, I would call him and say, is there any change, what can I report? And when I called this week, he said he could come and talk to you directly. I was very happy, because you could ask the questions that I would think to ask, you know? So that was very, very good, and you're welcome anytime, I'm very happy you came.
Yes, I
And
promise.
as we get closer to the project, maybe you can come again.
Yes, I think, you know, looking at it, probably sometime after the holidays, we're gonna start closing some financing. you know, Getting stuff up to speed and run, so once we're at a certain point, probably step in, because we bought them
We meet 6 times a year,
6 times.
yeah, every other month.
All right. So I'll probably stop by in March. No problem. I'll let you know where we're at.
And then we see where we're at that time.
Yep. Like I said, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I'll have some word from the state as far as we know why we're in. If that comes through, we're gonna pull the trigger on demolition nights. as quickly as possible. Building will come down.
But in the meantime, anyone who's interested in going over to the new building should put in their application.
Yes,
That's gonna be like you said, it's gonna be
Waiting.
yes.
and the same way we work it now. The vacancy opens up in Marjorie Moore, it goes to the first person, in Marjorie Moore list. Once that list is exhausted, it's taken, then we offer it up The same thing is gonna apply here, right, the list. Listed is for next month, this.
And you'd be on board with this?
Yes. Yep. We have both lists. I would recommend sending out this, and have discussion for this. All right,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much for your time, I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Not a problem. Right,
We'll see you again in a couple of months.
yes, all right.
Okay.
Have a nice one, everybody. Have a nice night.
Take care, Joe.
Take care. Nice seeing you.
Thank you.
Well, that worked out very well. I'm very glad that you did that. We'll continue with our meetings.
So you guys, if you want to leave, you are able to leave if you want.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay if you don't want to, but I do appreciate you coming to hear Joe, because it's very important that you hear it from him. And you get to ask the questions that you want to ask. So we'll have him again in March, when things get going a little bit.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
We should ask them where our picnic tables are.
Yeah,
I forgot all about the picnic
Oh,
table.
well.
and the ones we can't.
Oh, don't get it.
Yeah.
I guess we will wait for them.
You, I'll do those.
Supposed to get new ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 'cause they're all sliver, they're all slant, you can't
I
fit on
don't
them.
care, I like the way they.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
This is
I-
for-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
well, while he's got money, she better do it.
you regret it, yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was-
Yeah. Where would you put the picnic tables up there?
Oh, yeah, well,
We
there's
have,
some, this,
we have, how many do we have? We have 3 on the one, our side, and then there's 3 on the other side?
2 on our side and 3 on the other side.
You stand free.
Oh, then I
But
know.
I
they're all
guess we only
tied up.
have 2, all right.
Yeah.
So 2 on our side and then 2 on the other
I'm
side.
just gonna order the ones that hold it up.
Yeah,
Put them away in the
plastic
winter.
ones, yeah.
Metal
So
is
the metal
plastic.
ones, so they don't
Oh,
fly.
good. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah. Well, if she doesn't do it, just give us a call and we can
Yeah.
ask him,
Yeah.
but,
I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
well, he's very accessible. He's
Yeah.
very willing to take any calls, and if I call him, he's calling me back. And that's why this happened.
That
because
guy
they
there,
all
so
said,
had
"I'll come," and I was
that
so
stuff
happy.
to move that corner
Okay,
around
thank
here.
you for coming.
She would really want him on that.
Oh, yes, Debbie.
I'm
It's
sure
hard to
that-
see. I recognize you before.
He's a
but-
one goes up
Right, you
at
can't-
least
you can't
3
all see
times
the-
a week.
Yeah.
and he-
Yeah.
Say hello, I heard
Yes,
that.
yes. All
lives
right,
right next
take
door.
care. Thanks for coming.
Oh, good.
I dumped her off. Now, who has Tina's report?
No.
No?
Nope.
We have one other audience citizen. Would you like to, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Oh, no, I'm just here to kind of have a sense of what you folks do and
Oh,
what the issues are facing seniors in town.
okay, well, we're happy to have you. Yes. Okay. Tina's not here. Town citizens report, Kay Murray.
My report's not ready.
Oh, it's not, that's all right. You can do it the next time.
Okay.
Yep. Keep working on it. Senior housing was Joe. Senior Center, Community Center. We have our little advisory committee. We have been appointed, there's 6 of us. We had our first meeting September 2nd. We're gonna meet again at the end of the month. Here, now the minutes, I did put down the people that are on the committee. Juliet put that down, and the meetings that we've had so far. I think it's gonna be a very challenging committee. Because money is the issue, you know, and I know that there's gonna be money out there. We just have to have somebody go after, you know, like a grant writer or something to get that money. Because before we go to referendum, we have to be able to say, some of this project, community center, senior center, is gonna be funded not entirely by the town. And that's gonna be, it's gonna be a challenge for us to get that word out there. And they said it's gonna be about $35 million, but Sam Lamaggio, I talked to him about that figure, and he said he thinks that figure is too high. And that is high considering we will get grants for this project. And there's many ways to get grants, so we have to work on that. And also, I talked to this director at the Plainville Senior Center. They have had many projects going. She said, what we have to do is be able to get our town officials, and like Donna Beach and the people that they're on the Senate, state and Senate. They have to be on board. So if you know any of these people, Kathy Abercrombie, Donna Beach, you have to tell them that we're very much in favor of this project and we need their support. So hopefully, you know, our committee is working on this, but I think the public information is so important for them to hear it from the public. That's important, you know, because when they know that's where their votes are, that's what they're gonna think about when it gets to the election. And this is gonna be such a wonderful project that I just don't, in my eyes, I don't see how anybody can be against this project, because it's gonna be good for the young people, good for the seniors. It's gonna be a wonderful project, but, so if you know anyone that, you know, that you can put a word in, please do that. It's very important. Does anybody have anything to ask about that project?
Is there time for us to have another forum here at the senior center
Yes.
before elections?
That's another thing. I had asked Tina if we could have the two candidates for mayor, Mayor Mark and Sam Lamaggio. And I asked if they could come here in the afternoon and set up a date with them. And they will, it's gonna be just like 15 minutes and 15 minutes, just for them to state their platform and what they're planning to do. And then we'll do a question and answer period. It's not gonna be a debate. I think that would not be a good idea. It's just gonna be questions and answers after they speak. So the seniors here will know, there's not too many opportunities to get to hear some of these candidates. And it was suggested to me that we have all the candidates, and I don't want to do that. I said, the Board of Education candidates, let them go to the schools and do their, you know, their, whatever their program is, and let them do it there at their PTOs and their mothers clubs, whatever I don't even know what they have in the schools anymore, because my kids are all bigger, but I think that just to have the two mayor candidates would be a good idea. So hopefully in October, Tina is looking into doing a date. I did talk to her about that already. And we'll see, hopefully that will work out. Any other questions about this? No?
What did these questions that we got for the center funding question, what did you find out about these?
I submitted those because when we went to the meeting that night, I wanted to know, I didn't bring my questions with me. But one was gonna go to the board, to the finance person. because we have to be able to know how
Yeah.
we're gonna finance this, and she was gonna check on with that. And the other one was going to be on our responsibilities on that committee.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit disturbed because I don't know how to put this. I can't speak out for or against the project as a person on the committee. I have to, my role has to be, that we are looking into all aspects of the project. That's what I have to say. But I have said publicly and privately that I have never misrepresented. If the seniors ask me something, I have never, in all the years that I've been on this commission, never misrepresented. If they ask me a question, I'm gonna be truthful and I'm gonna answer truthfully. And if that's okay, it's okay. If it isn't, well, I have to be honest about how I feel. And we have to have people speaking out about how they feel. Because it's my understanding that they want, they would do it so different for the park and rec and for the senior, for the senior programs. And I think, again, we're gonna have to have a little, maybe forum here again, so that you can ask those questions and see what they say and see how they answer you, so that I won't have to answer the questions. But, I think that people have to be forthcoming and well, how do you feel about this? And I think that's important for the commission to speak out and say how they feel. And for Park and Rec to speak out, because their programs will be governed then not by the town. So, that's why I'm saying we have to, if we wanted
I
to
mean,
be.
as members of the commission, that's the whole thing, as members of the commission, if we're going around talking about this, are we going to get ourselves in trouble?
No,
No.
you're not, because you're not on that committee.
Oh, okay.
I'm
just
on the
members of
committee, so I
see.
have to be impartial.
All right.
But members of the commission, and one thing we did meet with the attorney on September 2nd. One thing I did forget to ask him, I forgot to ask him about petitions. I was thinking, as we get closer, can we circulate petitions?
Yeah.
About how the seniors feel. So I'll have to get an answer on that. I don't know quite how, I forgot to ask him that. We had so many questions that night that, and then he had to leave because his son was going off to college. So he answered everything that we asked him at that point. But I think we should probably have another session where we can, the seniors themselves can be here and they can ask the question. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Daytime.
Yeah,
Oh, during the day.
the committee has to decide, and I think it's going to be on the agenda for next week to discuss what kind of public outreach they want to do and when to do it and how to do it. It has to be decided as a committee as to what they want to do. So I think on the agenda next week, we haven't seen the agenda yet. It's going to say something about discussion of public outreach, so we can throw other ideas out there.
Because I mean, with the poor voting record in this town, when you go to anything that's not a major election, we need to make people understand that they need to go out and vote. Whatever they feel about it, they just need to get to the polls and vote.
That's right.
So that we get a good vote on it and we know where the people go.
And they can't be scared away by the money, because the money is, there's gonna be grants, there's gonna be ways to get around that. I just wish that we were getting that. We're gonna have to do that before we have forums, because people ask that question, how much is it gonna cost? Well, you can throw out, oh, it's gonna cost $3 million, but that's not to say the town is gonna absorb that whole cost. Other towns do it and they get money. So I'm sure that if we had the right people in our corner, there would be grants out there. And I have been told that there are grants out there. So, we have to look at that too.
Yeah, Barbara, I don't know if everybody is aware of it or not, but this little gem that you sent down to Carrie to put out
To the library.
at the library is indeed on the table out where the public can get it, and it is cataloged so that it cannot just walk out the door in somebody's hand.
That's good.
And it's something that people should be told to go take a look at.
Yes.
And I did check with her and with Kim,
Uh-huh.
and it is there. They did go down and check.
Well, that's good, because that's why I sent it down there. I said, just throw it on the table and let people just take a look. If they're gonna sit down and they're gonna, pick up a book or something, let them see.
But
have to
they
see the
should be
product.
told that there is something there that they should
Yes.
take a look at. You know, tell your friends, tell your family when you're
Yeah.
down there. Go take a look at it and see what they're proposing.
And if they have any questions, people can call me, it's okay, I'm always happy to answer questions, so if they have any questions about anything like that, I welcome the questions, because then the people are interested, and they're looking at how we're gonna do this, and I just think it's gonna be such a wonderful project, and I'm having a hard time knowing why people would not want it, because it's gonna be just the best thing for the seniors and the kids, But that's the way I'm looking at it. It doesn't mean everybody's gonna look at it that way.
I have a copy in my office also.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I
That's very-
put it on the counter when you first walk in, so a lot of times people are sitting there and they're filling out their applications for permits.
Yeah.
We pick it up.
Well, that's good. Any way that we can get it out to the public is gonna be so important, But we're gonna have another forum we requested one at McGee because they had two at the high school. But it's very hard to get into the high school. The parking is not good. You have to, go up all those thousands of stairs. So we requested the second one to be at McGee, but it was too late. They had already done all the printing of the plans. So the next forum they have will be at McGee, and we'll have one here also. So that'll be, So is there any other questions about this? Okay, is there any old business to come before the meeting? Any new business? Oh my goodness, we did very well.
Did you guys do minutes or did you go right into Joe?
No, we did the minutes.
Okay,
Just
just wanted to make, I was at the bathroom, just want to make sure.
Yeah, Frank approved the minutes.
Okay,
I second it.
yeah, I think that's when I stepped out.
Yeah, I think,
I
yeah.
just want to make sure.
And who seconded?
I did.
You think Tina's gonna have? the report?
I don't know. She's off tomorrow too, so,
Oh, okay. I'll wait, I'll send her an email.
yeah.
Oh, for her report, you mean?
Yeah, whether she has it.
I mean, or she could just do 2 in November
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
or a lengthier one in November, going
Yeah.
back 3 months.
I'll let her decide.
Okay, very good. If there's no new business, then is there a motion to adjourn?
I could do that.
Okay.
Frank.
Second? Second? Well, thank you very much. I'm very happy that we did this tonight.
Yeah, well, I have a copy of the plans that we gave us. I'm gonna carry that around with me if I go to meetings.